Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 483. The title of today's lesson is the difference between cringe and grimace. Okay, somebody wants a screenshot, do it right now. Let's get right to it. If a person says that someone cringes at someone or something, he or she may feel embarrassed or disgusted by someone or something unpleasant. This is often expressed by an unpleasant look on one's face and possibly make a slight backward movement. So that's one thing. Cringe often, not 100% of the time, but often has a backward movement. So somebody's like, and then they kind of slide their body backward, like, So cringe is a little bit more likely to be used when you are disgusted by something too. All right, so, but there is a little bit of crossover because they both have an unpleasant face on them, and it's both about, not liking something. Let's continue. If someone grimaces, he or she will often make an unpleasant or ugly look on one's face due to pain. All right, so grimace might be, this is one where grimace is likely to be with some physical pain. So if you felt a physical pain, you might be something like this. Could be a grimace. So grimace is a little more likely to use for that one. Or a strong dislike. So again, there is crossover. It could be just something that you just don't like as well. An unpleasant expression. Okay, good. This could be done by twisting or contorting one's face to make an unpleasant expression. So you're kind of like moving your facial expression like, So that's another thing. So with grimace, you're more likely to be, especially moving, parts of your face around, okay, to show displeasure. All right, let's continue. All right, now let's look. We got 7 examples here. Here's the first one. She cringed when he tried to kiss her. Yeah, I sometimes give this as an example every time the word cringe goes up because it always reminded me of a very old Ann Landers, article that somebody wrote in. Some woman wrote in, and she wrote in actually about her husband. That when her husband had switched to work at home, he stopped grooming himself. So he stopped taking baths, and he stopped brushing his teeth, and stopped combing his hair. And, she was really complaining about this. She was writing in about this. But that was one thing she said in it. And then he wonders why I cringe when he tries to kiss me. Because you can imagine, this guy hasn't bathed for a long time. His breath is probably not very good. But it's supposed to be her husband, And she's like, she's cringing, moving backward. So I don't know. You could let me know if you were this woman too. What would you do? Would you be cringing as well? All right. Anyway, let's go on. All right. We have the second one here. When we offered her some fried grasshoppers we bought as a snack in Thailand, she cringed at the sight of it. So, yeah, again, if you're disgusted by something. Again, so cringe is used a lot with disgusted. Just like the first example, there's disgust there. This one, too, sometimes when somebody's offering you something really unusual or strange to eat. Most people don't eat fried grasshoppers. There is worse things to be offered, but still, it's the type of one that might make you cringe. Like, nah, like they're handing it to you, and you're like, that's okay, So you might cringe in that sort of sense. Okay, number 3 here. When that contestant tried out on American Idol, judges cringed at the sound of her voice. Yeah, some people just go on just so that they'll be filmed, or some people don't mind being the person that's kind of laughed at, or maybe some people really believe they had a great voice and they tried out, and the judges are like, kind of like that. So they were cringing at, just hearing her voice. All right, number 4 here. When they sewed up his stitches, he grimaced in pain. So again, physical pain, more likely to be grimace. So if you're feeling some pain, like, there's a lot of reasons you might feel physical pain. That'd be a little bit more likely to be grimace. Number 5 here. She grimaced as she said that outfit is just too tacky. Yeah, so doesn't have to be physical pain. So she's like, that's not good. That's too tacky. That's too ugly. That's too, So maybe she made that sort of face. That could be a grimace as well. All right. Number 6 here. She grimaced from a bad stomach ache. So maybe the stomach ache was so. Especially when you don't really. You're trying to hold your pain, but you really can't because it's there. You might make those sort of a facial expression. You know that the person really feels some discomfort. So we might, again, so grimace is another one here would be from physical pain. And the last one here, the politician grimaced when asked a question he did not like. Why are they asking me that? Something like that. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope this video kind of helped you to have a much better feel when you might use one rather than the other. There's a little bit of crossover, but there are some clear distinctions between these two as well. Anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it's clear. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.